represents so many special people.
Oh, there's no doubt that Trevor represents them well. And oh my, that'll be Alshire, who's flagged for the big hit on the slide, and that's going to start a little bit of a scrum afterwards as the Jaguars come in to protect their QB. Oh my goodness.
This deserves an ejection, in my opinion.
Another flag has come down with the activities on the bench, but the bigger concern right now is what's going on with Trevor Lawrence.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? This is JDB Sports back again for the Week 13, I believe, recap. We can start off
again with the video.
Yeah, back at it again. We have some highlights to play right here, so we can look through. And first, want to start off with the Trevor Lawrence news.
Getting absolutely obliterated.
Yeah, he's on season-ending. Well, he's on injury reserve. I believe it's season-ending, but I think it's for shoulder surgery, not for the concussion. Doug Peterson said.
Yeah, I feel like the concussion would have held him out at least 2 games. However, yeah, that shoulder injury he had where he had the bulging collarbone was just not doing it. Got to ship him off to IR and have Mac Jones step in. A little McCorkle action.
Yeah. Speaking of that, speaking of Trevor Lawrence going out on season-ending surgery, we have some other breaking news to start. We'll start with that one first. Sorry about that. NFL ends sexual assault allegations versus Deshaun Watson. He's not going to be punished.
What?
Yeah, he's not going to be punished at all. George Pickens on rematch with Browns' Greg Newsome. I don't even know who that is what he said. Basically trolling.
He's in his DMs a couple years ago trying to say what's up to Greg Newsome. I saw that too.
Also, Hall of Famer Randy Moss is stepping away from ESPN for an extended time to deal with some health issues.
Hope
he gets back to it. Bill Belichick.
Yeah, hope he doesn't have jaundice.
Poor thing. Bill Belichick and the University of North Carolina discuss vacant head coaching position. Apparently, it's also in discussion, too, to have his son take over after he retires.
Yeah, that is part of the succession plan that they are envisioning over there. I don't know how much that's going to work, but it seems like North Carolina might be on board.
Interesting.
That's
a lot. That's a lot of commitment, but rookie Zach. Well, not rookie. My bad. Cowboys guard Zach Martin to have season-ending ankle surgery, possible retirement after this year.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it too. You're just getting older in age. As an O-lineman, you can only withstand so much to your lower body, and he's had an awesome run, but maybe like a 1 or 2 year deal with some team that's guard needy. I'd love him as a Charger if he could stay healthy, but you know how that goes. So definitely, prayers up to him, man. Hope he gets back to football because it looks like he has a little bit of juice left, but
Got to drop 3 more news pieces here. The first one is Alshire's 3-game suspension is upheld for that hit on Trevor Lawrence. Not really surprising there.
Yeah, could have been out potentially even longer with the series of unhealthy hits earlier, but I think they did a good job with 3 games.
Yeah, I heard he has had a pretty dicey history with getting up in people's faces and doing some unorthodox things. So.
Yeah, Caleb earlier this year, I think he had hit. I'm trying to think of what other quarterback, but he's just had a series of bad, blunders, if you will. So.
Ravens wide receiver Deontay Johnson suspended internally for 1 game for refusing the return versus the Eagles. That's crazy.
No action.
Yeah, they just traded for him though, didn't they? It's better than him beating Carolina. Well, I mean, Carolina, he was the number 1, right?
Yeah, Carolina was the number 1 by a good margin.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's what you get for not wanting to get traded, but that's what you get for being traded to a team with already established wide receiver options, I guess.
Yeah, and looking at what he does versus what like Zay Flowers does per se, they do the same thing. They're quick man beaters that work in the open field and try to get yards after the catch. Um, Deontay more of like an acrobatic type catch artist and everything, and he might be a little better at the catch point than Zay. But you're seeing two similar players, and they know Zay is better, so they're feeding Zay the ball more. And yeah, Deontay just keeps getting drowned out of games. There's nothing really to get him going, and he's more so a depth piece at this point.
Is he going to be the new Jahan Dotson for the Eagles? But let me go ahead and answer one of these chats we got. Wolf Tato talk about unorthodox. Yeah, very scandalous we got over here. Very scandalous stuff we got going on.
Whoa, Wolf Tato. Shut that Wolf Tato mouth. Oh.
Last piece. Micah Hyde returns to the Bills practice squad. He's set to retire at the end of the season. Surprised he didn't catch on. Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't catch on with somebody else. Micah Hyde was pretty decent, if I remember correctly. I mean, not everybody's gonna be perfect, but
I think just like a little unhealthy string of injuries too. I believe he had a really bad neck injury like a year and a half ago, so that could have some factor into it as well. Because yeah, a great Packer, great Bill. So respect Micah Hyde.
all right, so let's get back into our Week 13 games we got going on. We got Colts versus Patriots up first. You know, I think Anthony Richardson had a mad day, completed 50% of his passes, but, you know, throws the game-winning touchdown to Alec Pierce with 12 seconds left to win the close one. Drake May is making people really want to watch the Patriots, I swear. I mean, this play is surprising people, it seems like, for a rookie. I like him. I know I'm turning back on what I said in previous podcasts, and feel free to keep the receipts, but you know I'm starting to like him a little bit better now.
Hey, let a person grow on you, no Diddy. And I think Drake May, he has a little bit of a turnover issue, but again, it's kind of what you expect in a raw prospect, a toolsy guy, youngest quarterback in the league. You expect this from the kid. Growing pains with bad receiving play and a horrible O-line on top of a bad running game. He has arguably the worst situation in the league, and he's making do. Yeah, would have had a win against a Colts team that's up and down, mostly down, but fighting for a wild card spot nonetheless. And Anthony Richardson, what a final drive!
You always liked him though.
Yeah, Richardson. He's had May.
No, Richardson. You said you liked Richardson. You were dismaying of them benching him for Joe Flacco, and
yeah,
it seems like every week you have something decent to say about him. So
yeah, and don't get me wrong, he hasn't looked amazing by any means. But again, when you're a quarterback and it's your 13th start, and you're showing the flashes that he's showing and everything, and you still have time to improve because you're 22. I don't know. I think the proof is in the pudding there, and the accuracy issues are a problem. However, if he could be a big play guy like a Josh Allen, just less consistent, of course.
He's definitely someone to build around as far as going forward. I don't know if they fired Shane Steichen right now. I don't know if they fire him and bring in somebody else, or they give him another year.
I think they keep Steichen. You look at a team. I think the Colts would probably be a bottom feeder without him. He's an instant plus to the running game. You saw what he did for the Eagles' attack with Jalen Hurts. You've seen what he's done with the Colts thus far in having Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson at the helm. And, you know, he's also had success in the past running the ball, even when he was on the Chargers with the rookie Justin Herbert. So he's been successful wherever he goes in creating a good run game, and then, you know, playing to the strengths of his defense.
Do you agree with the take that the NFL is working more towards a dual threat type of quarterback as their prototypical type, or do you think pure pocket passing is still the way to go?
That's a really good question. I think that you're seeing the pendulum swing of the NFL, meaning that a lot of teams are adjusting for these deep pass plays, play action, just really focusing on limiting big plays down the field. And you're seeing a lot more running success than you've seen in prior years. Hence why you see receiving numbers down, everything like that. Um, I think it's important to be a dual threat nowadays, but I don't think it is the NFL's prerogative to necessarily push that, because most of their rules enable quarterbacks to be pocket passers rather than trying to escape the pocket. What do you think? Do you think, the NFL is trying to push them a certain way?
I feel like, yeah, dual threat for sure. I mean, you see all the rookies out right now. I mean, I don't know if Nix is a typical pocket passer, but it seems like they all can run if they have to.
Yeah.
It's always a good dynamic to have in an offense. But let's go ahead and get on to this Charger-Falcon game. I mean, we've seen the highlight back a little while back, and Chargers and Falcons. What do you think about them? How did you feel about that game?
I was gonna poop my pants 4 times until the 4 interceptions happened.
Yeah,
Man,
Kirk,
oh man.
yeah, Kirk let him go. Kirk let him go. He's looking like primetime Kirk.
Yeah, I mean, Kirk has had the most up and down year possible. I mean, they're 6-6 for a reason. Their record's not telling any lies. But yeah, the Chargers played out of their mind on defense, and that was their saving grace. 2 picks by Tarheeb Still, our 5th-round rookie out of Maryland, who's been in tandem with Cam Hart, who's been out with injury, but they've been such a great rookie corner duo. And a huge pick 6 he had against Kirk jumping the route that Kirk was staring down like it was some damn chains, dude. He was staring at him like some damn chains, and he just got his chain snatched.
Give me that.
But yeah, you give me that. Very unproductive day from both offenses, specifically the Chargers in the second half. Terrible amounts of yardage when Ladd was gone out, and then we have no semblance of a run game now that J.K. Dobbins is out. So cause for concern over the next couple weeks, but a win's a win.
How do you think they play against the Chiefs this week? That's one of my games of the week, to be honest with you.
Oh, same here. I think they play them super tough. But man, going into Arrowhead and winning one, it is hard. It is hard.
Well, if it's hard,
Especially, yeah.
it's hard normally, but a divisional opponent should be able to, take care of that. Yes, give me that. Yes, Wolf Tato, we like that in the comments. Now, Falcons are in a tailspin right now, in my opinion. This is what I have down. In my opinion, the Chargers are a force to be reckoned with. If they can get a little bit healthier. They're not blowing teams out. They're still finding ways to win. I'd like to see them do a little bit more for turnovers than what they did. The game was a little too close, in my opinion. A little too close for him throwing 4 interceptions. I think that's actually his first career game with no touchdowns and 4 picks. So first time for everything, Kirko, and it's not a good feat to establish. So
Yeah, not a good first.
Another game, Seahawks Jets. I mean, Aaron's definitely washed. I mean, they definitely the defense blew that 14-0 lead in the second. Well, the second half was all Seattle basically. I mean, the Jets. What can we say about the Jets right now?
You can't say nothing about the Jets right now. It's looking all bleak. All bleak
indeed.
I mean, Breece Hall's now out for this upcoming game, so there goes your rushing attack. Even though I'd really like Braylon Allen, their 4th-round rookie out of Wisconsin.
It's on the build on.
Yeah, but I don't think Breece Hall's the it's just an Aaron Rodgers diva problem. It's him creating all these problems for the Jets. It's him getting his coach fired. It's him throwing a pick 6 to Leonard Williams that's returned 92 yards, and your O-line doesn't want to put an effort chasing down blockers, and your receivers give up on the play, tackling, and it's just awful. It's awful, and I think they could possibly lose out and just try to reset next year.
How many times are we going to hear that for the Jets? Reset, reset, reset. Now let's come back to another chat. Yeah, do better, Kirko. Let's go. Yeah, I agree. I'm not betting with him next week. No way. start doing these parlays. But let's go ahead and move on to Commanders Titans. I'm really happy about this one. This game is
Oh, please, Ray. Please, Ray.
All right, man. I was skeptical early on. We struggled in the third quarter, but our stellar first quarter gave us enough cushion to actually ease my suspicions.
Yeah.
What is it? 28 points in the first 16 or 17 minutes.
Yeah, you had 28 unanswered.
Yeah, that was straight out of a Madden game. Turnovers and good field position, and Robinson walking in, finishing it for the game's first, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, how'd you feel about how Jaden looked?
Solid, pretty solid. I'm happy with how he played going into the bye week this week, and also to say something about the Titans, top ranked defense, not scared anymore. It was a get right game for Jaden. Brian Robinson amassed over 100 yards rushing, and Chris Rodriguez was 6 short of getting 100 yards. That would have been the first 100 yard tandem in running backs that we've had in a long time, at least for in our franchise. I believe we come out firing versus the Saints out the bye week. I mean, we may have a little bit of rust from the week off, but it's a much needed week, especially being 14 weeks in and finally getting a bye week.
Finally getting a bye week and finally looking forward to Marshawn Lattimore sighting, maybe?
Marshawn, no, he is. I think he's confirmed to be playing versus the Saints.
Ooh.
I think he's confirmed.
I mean, coming out of the bye, you got a couple weeks rest already from the hamstring.
I think it's been about a month.
Yeah, because it typically hamstrings are super tough. I typically say give it at least 3 weeks to a month, but they can go even beyond that. The hamstrings are so tricky. Move one little wrong inch and it's all bad.
Yeah, no, for real. I'm looking at this week heading up. Oh, my bad. Let me fix that again.
No, you're good. Now let's go to what I think, in my opinion, was my game of the week. Steelers-Bengals. What a dogfight.
Yes, sir.
What a dogfight in an opposite way, though. 44-38. I did not think that was possible in a Pittsburgh game.
I mean, yeah, with how good their defense plays, it seems like they always have something going on. My thing is tweaking out right now.
Oh, let it tweak.
All right, so let's just talk about it now. I mean, I can have this just sitting here. Best offensive shootout game I've seen in a while, and multiple defensive touchdowns, one from each team, I believe. You can't say nothing enough. I mean, the fact that it came down to the end right there, that was a great game. There's not really much you could say about it other than that. If you're a defensive coordinator on either side of that team, you're pissed, but offensive coordinators, you're happy as hell going into that game. I guess the winning teams obviously be a little bit more happier, but the defensive coordinator himself, no, I don't believe that. I believe he's going to be kicking himself and saying there's a lot to work on.
Yeah.
For either of those teams. I mean, Pittsburgh's been pretty good this year.
Yeah. No, Pittsburgh again. I'll say it again. They are a sleeper team in that AFC. Do not be surprised if they match up against the Chiefs and they end up winning in Arrowhead.
That's
built for cold weather. Yeah. Built for physical football, and it's not the Chiefs' year so far. As far as looks go, as far as the eye test goes, I think, Mike Tomlin could get what he's been yearning for lately.
Good take.
How do you feel about the Bengals?
No. Just no. I don't know. I think I agree with what you said as far as, the Steelers could be a good contender, just like I think the Chargers can. I mean, yeah, Steelers have a little bit more of an upside, look a little healthier in my opinion, but who knows? Maybe the Chiefs could end up being bounced. First or second round. Oh, they'll probably be a first round bye more than likely if they keep up winning. But I believe they could probably get bounced.
Yeah.
Bounce their first playoff game, maybe pull Cowboys and just exit.
I get you on that.
So we got.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was gonna move on to Vikings Cardinals. If you have anything else, go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna move on to Vikings Cardinals. You beat me to the punch. How do you feel?
Kyler's 2 picks, man. He was probably playing a little too much Call of Duty this weekend instead of actually studying and practicing. But I feel like that lost the game for the Cardinals. Really, Sam Darnold looks like he has been in he's in early season form. Really, efficient day. Cardinals blew a 19-6 lead, mind you, to lose to the Vikings 23-22.
Yeah, with no semblance of a run game, really. And
That's what we're looking at right here.
I believe a fumble was lost by Aaron Jones, and then he recovered another one. But
his mom said to bench him. His mom told the Vikings to bench him because of his fumbling issues right now.
yeah,
That's
I
also
think
part of it. Part of the news.
4 in his last 2 games or something like that.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I mean, regardless if you lose him or not, it's just a bad play. But he did get in the end zone and everything. He did redeem himself, and in a game decided by 1 point, he was the difference in that. So kudos to him for making it up for the team. Vikings are a sneaky 10-2. I mean, do we take them as legitimate contenders or pretenders in your eye?
Pretenders for sure.
Okay.
I feel like they're pretenders. I mean, yeah, 10-2. That's great. It's a good feat. I'm not being jealous. We're 8-5. Being a Commanders fan, I'm not jealous or anything like that. Hats off to the Minnesota Vikings winning and finishing their games, but I don't know. I just feel like somebody comes in and sticks it to them, and even if they do make the playoffs, well, more than likely they will. If they make the playoffs, I feel like they just get bounced, kind of like the Chiefs. One of the earlier. They're saying for us. They're saying for the Commanders, the Commanders should win. The Commanders win the table. My bad. Low starter in here. My bad. If the Commanders win out, and depending on what Green Bay does, we can move up and take their seed, I believe. And I think it's a more favorable matchup against whoever wins the South. And I'm kind of looking as a Commanders fan. I would rather go against the South than go against Philly or the Lions.
Yeah, but to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah.
And I know for matchup's sake, yes, would it be an easier path? Would you be happy if you drew an opponent? Yes, you got to play who's in front of you and make the cards lay where they may.
You think if we had to face the Eagles, let's say we do end up getting a favorable spot or at least favorable spot and end up losing a game or two and end up taking that 7 seed, do you think that we go to Philly, or I guess we would host them, right? Or they would host us since they're division champs, right?
Yeah, so Eagles, they hold the tiebreak over Washington at the moment.
Yeah.
And
for now.
So it would take Washington winning 3 of their final 4 and the Eagles to lose 3 of their final 5.
I don't think that's happening. No, sorry for Commanders fans. I don't think they're losing 3 of their final 5. But
unless you beat them head to head on the 22nd, in which case you guys would be tied, and I don't know who tiebreaker goes to that point for a division at the end of the year.
It's a lot of mix-up and what-if, so I really don't know myself.
Yeah.
I guess we can hit this Rams-Saints game, 6-6 Rams versus 4-8 now Saints.
Yeah, it's a gross game we can kind of skate by. It's just
I really have nothing to say about it.
The Puka Nacua show. Good for you, Puka.
Well, Saints play like they're 4-8. I mean, Alvin Kamara had 112 yards on the ground. Still, they just couldn't beat them. 6-6.
Yeah.
I wonder what we do against the Saints next week.
Probably kill them now that they don't have any offense. And Taysom Hill, who they lost for the year.
I guess they're relying on him a little too much lately, huh?
Yeah, I mean, 34-year-old, he just tore his ACL. The future for his football career looks bleak, but I mean, he's done amazing this year. So he was a big part of their offense that they'll be missing, and yeah, don't expect the Saints to do much rest of the year. But kind of bouncing to a more interesting one.
Yeah.
Eagles-Ravens.
Yeah, I got that right here. Eagles-Ravens 24-19 win. My opinion, with obviously looking at stats alone, I think Saquon Barkley won the matchup. Saquon Barkley won the matchup. Do you think he's the greatest running back in the NFL? Today.
Right now?
Today, yes.
Today, 100%. As far as ever, of course not. However, I would put him personally in my MVP conversations as far as this year goes, due to the lack of wanting to commit to one certain person, whether that be Lamar or whether that be Josh Allen. Why not give it to Saquon, who's on pace to breaking the rushing yards record?
Sorry,
You
Giants
know?
fans.
And
Sorry,
someone
Giants
who's
fans.
8 straight wins from the Eagles, I believe.
It's got to end at some point. They need to stop winning, like I said last week. Stop winning. You know, we had a comment on one of our Instagram shorts. You know, they said, can't stop, won't stop, or never gonna stop, fly, Eagles, fly. And I said, we don't get down with that Satan ship over here. I don't believe in fly, Eagles, fly.
Goodness.
But, yeah, right now, the Eagles look like a force to be reckoned with, sitting at 10-2. They look like the most, you know, I guess, the best 10-2 team so far this year, other than the Lions.
You would think.
I mean, the Lions.
The Lions are 11-1, I believe.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like,
Or 12.
top tier team. Yeah.
I don't know. If I'm picking between the Eagles and the Bills, I'm picking the Bills respectfully.
Good. That's a good take. But
Well,
why?
You think so as well?
I mean, yeah, just looking on the screen here at the 35-10 shellacking of the freaking 49ers. Yeah, I mean,
They run the ball so effectively. They can pass the ball so effectively, and their quarterback can be Superman when they need it.
Superman
This is
Allen.
looking, yeah.
He was the man. He was the one that helicoptered, right? Like he dived up and. No, he did like a
Yeah.
Superman pose before or something like that.
Yeah, and then he had that one where he threw it to Amari Cooper on the left hash a little outside, and then
Yeah, bounced it back and then.
lateraled it back.
Yeah,
What a play!
that
I
was
mean,
going to be play of the week, I believe. But you know, I feel like
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, everybody's gonna be reporting. You know, it's a night game or whatever. You're gonna look at that. Everybody's gonna be like, oh yeah, Josh Allen to Amari Cooper. Yeah, everybody's gonna be just very. They're gonna be on that game. So like, why bother being the same? You know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we like players getting their heads blown up around here. No offense.
Oh
No,
man,
Trevor Lawrence, prayers to you, brother.
Yeah.
Hope you're healing well in the off season.
Mr. Sunshine seeing the stars. Okay.
See more than the stars.
You think Doug Peterson comes back or whatever next year? I mean, I think they said something about him being. No, they said Stefanski was going to be safe, not Peterson. When he was asked about being fired a couple weeks back, he was just like, I don't even think he had really much of an answer. He was just like, you know, would I still be here if I was fired or something stupid like that?
Oh, okay.
I'm saying, like, what do you think?
I think he's gone personally. I don't think there's any reconciling the lack of preparedness that the Jaguars brought on a week in, week out basis this year. Terrible defensive games against bad teams. I mean, the 4-8 Bears dropping 36 on you in London is bad enough. Just to play another bad game in London. I don't know.
The 4-8 Bears also kept it close against the 11-1 Lions. I mean, I get it, divisional games, but gotta give them a little bit of credit, I guess. I mean, you know, we already know the Jaguars are a bad team and bottom feeder Central for sure.
I'm just saying you can't lose by 3 scores to a 4-win team at this stage in the year. That's my only cause. Well, that's not my only cause for concern with this Jaguars team, don't get me wrong. But, yeah, I mean, when you're picking inside the top 3 again I think this would be their 3rd time in the last 5 years where they've picked top 3. You got to change it up at coach, unfortunately. And,
I respect
you know,
that.
Trevor Lawrence getting a new play caller, a new coach as well. Like, I don't know. It could do right by him and everything, and he's still young enough to mold into an elite quarterback. So,
So I wanted to ask something about Bucks Panthers. You know how close that was. Bucky Irvin, led them to this win, I believe, 152 on the ground. Dude's looking sharp. I mean, it's versus the Panthers defense that's just downright abysmal, and the fact that it was, a 3-point game just says a lot about how much divisional games and knowing your opponent inside of a division comes into play. Really.
Yeah.
And they escape. Baker Mayfield somehow commits 2 turnovers, and they escape Carolina with a win. Does that just show how bad Carolina is, or what? I mean, Bryce Young played, I think, mistake-free football. If I'm not mistaken, had almost 300 yards passing, I believe.
Yeah, you might be mistaken. I mean,
Miss
mistaken.
Bacon. It was
You might be mistaken.
It was 298 for Bryce Young, I believe, unless these numbers are wrong. But
No, you're most definitely right. I think Bryce Young's looked more complete week after week, and again, not his best game by any means, but again, had flashes and turned it on the right moments. He had that touchdown to Adam Thielen with 30 seconds that looked to have iced the game. However, the Buccaneers just drove the ball downfield at will and scored a last-minute field goal to send them to overtime. But yeah, definitely more of a complete quarterback and everything. Kind of the Bryce Young we did see at Alabama, being able to throw downfield, evade pressure properly, everything like that. Just want to see more sound decisions, maybe in the shorter, intermediate part of the field. But his downfield shots have looked great, and yeah, Buccaneers, they eke out a scary one in terms of their playoff hopes. They need to just keep winning. You win 4 out of your next 5, and I believe you're a division champ. So
I don't think they get there.
really,
I don't. 4 out of your last 5?
I mean, they face the Saints at home,
Okay, I
Panthers
can see
at
that one.
home, and the Raiders at home.
Okay, Raiders. I give them the automatic win against the Raiders, but against the 2 divisional teams, that can go either way. Like you were saying, it's kind of scary. We got to think about it.
course.
Going against Saints and Panthers, I believe, at home. That's what you said, right? Saints and Panthers.
Yes.
All right, so Saints and Panthers, you literally just barely beat the Panthers. They can come back. They can come back and have your number. Same thing with the Saints. They know you.
But I think the Panthers played closer to their ceiling than the Buccaneers did by a wide margin, and I think the Buccaneers played as close to their floor as you can to win a game like that. So I just think, kind of recessing to the means a little bit here, I think that the Buccaneers play better, and I think the Panthers play worse the next time they face, and the Panthers will now have to go on the road as well. Added effects as well. You see the Buccaneers, they're closer to a playoff position. Panthers, playing for cookies and hugs at that point. So
Cookies and hugs.
yeah, definitely separate lookouts and everything. But I mean, you face the Chargers and Cowboys on the road, and I think those are the bulk of your difficult games. So
You think we talked last week 13 game Browns Broncos? You want to head it off with that one?
love that game, dude. Shout out Jameis for putting on a clinic for everyone to watch. 497 yards, I believe, 4 touchdowns and 3 picks, 2 of those being pick sixes.
Yeah, late. I think in the fourth quarter or something like that. Third, fourth quarter. It's a late game collapse for him, really. Or else this game would have been a different tune if he wouldn't have collapsed.
He could have led the game-winning drive had he not thrown that pick 6 to Jaquan McMillan. He kept him in the game.
Jameis says he doesn't want turnovers to define him, but whenever you think about him, you always think about the 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions quarterback. Back when he used to play with Tampa. But,
someone who's just taking shots to take shots.
Hey, look, man, that man's got some stones. Another man that's got some big stones is Dan Campbell on 4th down going for it. But pause.
We'll get into that in a moment.
Yes.
You're rushing his big stones, dude.
I just had to.
Are you reaching for his big stones, dude?
I'm not reaching for nobody's stones. I don't touch stones over here. I touch grass, not stones.
That hand is out. It might be touching some stones today. New Saturday, new man.
Hey,
Oh goodness. But final points to touch on for that Monday game is just Bo Nix making
Big
an
to
amazing
Mims.
throw.
Nix
Yeah.
to Mims. That's my play.
Nix to Mims. Yeah, such an amazing throw.
That was
everything
like if that could be threaded the needle, that's definitely threading the needle.
Yeah, fingertip catch by Marvin Mims too, has to readjust and then just gone.
His name's silly. Mims. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna mim you
dude.
over here.
He was a dog at Oklahoma. Put some respect on his name.
I'm not disrespecting any way, shape, or form. Good game for him, man. Good game for Knicks.
Shout out Marvin. Big Marv.
Shout out the Broncos, man. Sean Payton, you guys got them humming, man. You got them humming.
Yeah, I think the defense is really the enigma for that team. Really, what's kicked them into high gear.
Love to
Because
see
I think
it.
they're top 5 in points scored against, but might not be after that Browns game. But now you can go with your big stones. Dan Campbell, lay the stones down. Dude.
Man.
Have them all in your paws.
Going for it just to get the the late field goal. Did he even have to go for it? Or did he just do that just to kick him while he's down? Did he have to go for it?
So here's the situation. So I'm normally a proponent of going for it on 4th down, especially close and goal to go scenarios. But you have to sometimes take into account situation. Had they have kicked the field goal right there instead of going for it, the Packers have 40 seconds and no timeouts to drive the length of the field to get in good field goal range. And I know it succeeded and everything, and I know it was converted.
Yeah, look at hindsight, though.
Yeah, I mean, it was 3rd and inches on the prior snap that they didn't get. And again, when you have a shot, you're in field goal range and everything, you have a chance to go up 3 points. And of course, you don't want the Packers driving the length of the field. Yeah. I think it was Dan Campbell just trusting his offense and everything and not trusting his defense that time around.
I mean, with all the injuries, can you blame him? I think, what was it, 23 starters from the week 1. Well, 23 players from the week 1 roster are out.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I mean,
and
I don't blame
majority
him.
On defense.
Yeah, I don't blame him. But it's crazy. Goff tripped on that play. You think it was an intentional trip or just by accident?
Oh no,
like
he tripped. He tripped on
oopsie.
accident. He made an oopsie. David Montgomery don't make no oopsies though. He got in there.
Yeah, I was watching this game from I was watching a Packers fan reaction. He was all like, "Oh, the Lions haven't done anything. Only 30-something yards on the ground. They ain't doing nothing. Their rushing attack is trash. Blah 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 blah." And then they end up getting scored on.
Yeah.
Packers
and
people are so delusional.
Yeah.
They're so delusional, man. I'll tell you, anybody can be.
Yeah. The fan of a team, you just the incredible bias behind all of what's said.
I don't like to think that I'm that bad though, being a fan of who I'm a fan of. But at the same time, come on. Lions are one of the top offenses in the NFL, and you're like saying, "Oh, they're not doing anything." Like that. That makes y'all feel better about yourselves. Y'all giving up points, y'all defense giving up points and stuff like that. Yeah, they're injured as hell, and you guys couldn't score against them.
Yeah,
you guys couldn't score at will against them.
I mean, the Packers fan was right. Detroit couldn't get really anything going in the running game for a while, but again, you're getting stomped out by the Lions again. That's their second loss to them this year, and if they're to face in the playoffs, I know who I'm putting my money on. So,
sweet. Maybe a tri-peat. I don't know, or a three-peat.
But moving on.
Man, got the big stones.
These games on this, move on from the big stones. Drop them.
Oh man, I'm not holding no big
your
stones.
meaty paws.
Hey, no stones here, son.
Okay.
All right, so games to watch for me. I'm gonna do my 3 in Week 14. I got Browns Steelers. Revenge for Pittsburgh. Maybe George Pickens doesn't know who Newsom is. How about that? Yeah, we already talked about that one already being up in the DMs. Just fun. I just fun banter. That man is just I'm not gonna say he's bad, but he's just weird sometimes. Pickens, he's
Oh,
weird.
George Pickens? Yeah, no, he's a weirdo for sure. He's a menace.
Menace to society, and we love to see it. Keep it up. Chargers Chiefs is another one. You know, a good game in the making. I'd like to see the Chargers come out on top and just shut up the freaking Patrick Mahomes fanboys for just one more week. You know.
Yes, please.
Chargers being what 8-4, I believe. Come on, 8-4, right?
Yeah, we're 8-4.
Yeah, y'all had
Solid team.
y'all had y'all bye, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we've had our bye already.
All right, so
An early bye.
yeah, Chargers 8-4. I'd like to see them go. They're at Arrowhead.
They are at Arrowhead.
I'd like to see them go in there and take the Swifties, breath right out their mouths, man. In my opinion.
Yeah.
I'd like to see
Yeah.
them.
I mean, we need it's going to be a clinic. I mean, primetime game. Derwin versus Kelsey is always a matchup to see.
Think Derwin wins.
Yeah, and I mean, hopefully we limit enough big plays and everything to where the chunk plays won't be the difference. But yeah, all I gotta say is good luck Chargers finding some offense before Sunday if Lad McConkey's banged up. So
I'm gonna give you one more. It's a poopy dookie game of the week, man.
Poopy Dookie, I love Poopy Dookie.
Poopy dookie game of the week. We got Cowboys and Bengals. You know that game actually could not be flexed out on Monday night because they prepared so much for it. Apparently, it's gonna be a SpongeBob theme. If you like SpongeBob, tune in. I believe.
Yeah, I think Cincy might win by 40, even with that bad of a defense.
Nah, maybe 60. Let's put an NBA score up in here, like 99 to 5. I don't know, or 99 to 6.
Because the Bengals are gonna give up 40 no matter who their opponent is.
Oh man, you think Cooper Rush gets 40 on the Bengals? I mean,
108 to 40, bro. Oh, I'd be stunned.
What's next?
Be shell-shocked.
108 to 40. Cooper Rush has 4,000 yards on the ground.
He's running 40 football fields. Oh god.
Jesus Christ. Oh man.
I'm surprised you picked that for poopy game of the week.
What are you thinking?
I think Jaguars Titans. You got Mac Jones traveling to Will Levis and boys in Tennessee.
Oh, they're both reeling, so it might be a good game to watch. They're both reeling from losses, so it might be a good
What
game to
about
watch.
Saints Giants, dude? You got Derek Carr, Alvin Kamara going to Drew Lock.
Oh, it's not Tommy.
For a
It's
home
not Tommy
game.
Cutlets this week. He's still out.
Nah, I think they're sticking with Drew Lock now. They're in the quarterback carousel.
All right, fine. I mean, all right, fine. I guess I'll give it to it's Chargers. Not Chargers. Bengals. My bad. My bad to disrespect the Chargers name like that, Peyton. I'm sorry. But anyways, Cowboys Bengals, and then I'm gonna go. I guess I'll go Giants Saints. I mean.
Oh, Giants Saints.
Yeah,
No, I
Giants,
liked your
Saints.
little poopy game pick. I respect it.
That's a runner-up poopy game of the week because I don't feel like anybody's even gonna tune in to that game to be real. Giants Saints, come on, man.
Yeah, dude.
Other than the diehard fans.
I might not watch Red Zone for the first time in Sunday morning history. It feels like because there's only I think the only good game is Falcons Vikings.
Okay, so you say Falcons Vikings.
Yeah.
You think Kirk comes back and gets revenge on his former team, or what? You think he gets up off the mat per his words?
I think Kirk might die on Sunday because he's going to get pressured like no other, and his statue having butt in the pocket is just going to take all that pressure, no Diddy, no oil, no nothing, and he's just going to crumble.
Freaking Kirk.
Vikings 27, Falcons 9.
Damn, 9. Not even a touchdown, bro. Or is it a touchdown and a missed extra point? Like, what do you think? What are you giving them? 3 field goals or a touchdown?
3 field goals. Not even Bijan's gonna save them.
Oh man, I was gonna play him this week, but no.
Oh no, not back to the Falcons, dude.
All right, no, I'm done.
Let's not get back to it.
So I don't have any FanDuel picks. I mean, we can look into some together right now. That'd be kind of cool if you want to take care of that. if you want to
Yeah,
hit
pop yours up.
hit the rest of your games, man. I mean, I know you only picked one, so give me two more. Give me a Dookie game of the week, and give me another good game that you're looking at. If you had to pick one more.
Oh, I love this game on the slate. Seahawks going to Arizona, local game, for me being an AZ. But
That's been nice.
yeah, Cardinals Seahawks. That's for the division right there. 7-5 versus 6-6. Cardinals being the latter half with the worst schedule, but
Oh,
I
that
mean
is a
with the
good game.
worst record. But this is playing for your playoff lives. So I think it's going to be a super close game, 3-point swing, however it goes. And Cardinals need to bounce back after 2 straight losses against playoff teams, being the Seahawks and the Vikings, of course. But
James Conner scores for you. Do you think? You think James Conner scores?
I would say yes. Kenneth Walker is out tomorrow, so we might see a Charbonnet score as well. But definitely going to be a tight-knit game there. And then I guess poopy game of the week. I mean, I already kind of touched on Jags-Titans, but I don't think Jets-Dolphins is going to be any better. It's a divisional matchup and everything, and typically I love those, but I just think Dolphins kick the Jets' throat in. Jets have horrible defense. Sauce is going to be gone this weekend. Breece Hall's going to be gone, so there's your running attack right there. It's just all bad.
I'm taking Chicago Bears money line this week.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Minus how many odds?
It's actually plus 154.
Oh,
the money line.
shiz. They're
Yeah.
playing the Niners, right?
Yeah, they're at San Francisco. And it's a 3.5 point. It's basically, home field advantage for the 49ers. So it's
I think if you're so confident with... here's the tough thing.
all right.
So sometimes when you think a team's going to win outright, sometimes it's better to go with the spread, so even when they lose, they're good. Because your initial lean is what they call it, is the Bears. And it's not a bad lean to have. But Vegas sets their lines for a certain reason. They're thinking Niners win by a field goal.
Okay.
That's their estimation, or the Niners win by 4 points. So
Take the
I don't know.
I'll take the 3.5. Well, plus 3.5. Wait, no, that's
Yeah.
plus 3.5. Wait a minute.
Yeah, they would be plus. They would be plus money.
Okay.
So when you're the favorite, you're minus money. When you're not, you're plus. But for spread, it's even.
All right, for everybody who doesn't know FanDuel, I'm getting schooled, and you are too. There you go. I'm gonna take Commanders money line on the bye week.
Yeah, I mean they can't lose, so I think you're a winning man.
You can always lose on the bye week, man. Just ask Cowboys fans; they always lose on the bye week. All right, so I guess I'll take Chicago Bears. I guess I'll take the 3.5 point plus 3.5.
Okay.
And then I really don't want to bet Vikings because that's everybody's leaning towards that. Obviously, they don't.
I would just kick that game.
Yeah,
out of
leave it
your mind.
alone. Panthers, Eagles is also one of those. Eagles favored by 13.5. So
Yeah, that's a lot of points.
So Cleveland Browns versus Steelers. I want to take an over 43.5 on them. I think
Yeah,
it's
you
over,
think it's
yeah.
going to be okay. So you got over 43.5 for the Browns Steelers. You got your plus 3.5 for the Bears, and then the final pick.
Final pick. Bucky Irvin scores another touchdown.
Yeah, if he plays.
Yeah, if he plays.
Um,
But we'll pick it back up to that one then. You don't like the wide receiver touchdowns, do you? Because
I don't typically.
the next best is Mike Evans, but I'm not going there.
I
Maybe
think Saquon's going to get in, but his odds are going to be terrible.
Chuba's playing, right?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, Chuba's playing. Saquon, his odds to get in the end zone minus 290.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now.
That's horrid.
That's a bad bet.
Yeah, you might as well bet Saints money line over the Giants.
All right, fine. Then I guess I'll take Chuba Hubbard. Chuba Hubbard scoring a touchdown against the Eagles.
Ooh.
I think they can. I think they can.
Okay.
So Chuba Hubbard, Chicago Bears spread, and what was the last one? Shoot, I even forgot my own pick.
Chuba Hubbard.
No, Chuba Hubbard, Chicago Bears, and what was the last one that I picked before that?
Oh, you're over-under in that Browns
over-under.
game. You chose the over
Yeah, that's right.
in that one.
My mistakens, guys. Those
No,
are
you're
mine.
all good. The mistakens can't be fakens. So
What you got, my dude?
I got Bills minus 3.5 on the road to the Rams.
That's a safe one.
Yeah. I mean, well, you always want to choose safe ones, and this is even odds. So minus 3.5 for minus 110. I think it's great. I just think the Bills are beating up on everyone right now, and sometimes you do have regression to the mean. I don't think they'll beat the Rams as much as they did the Niners. However, I do think it could be a 2-score game. So, and I think it will be. So give me the Bills. A gross one. You're going to hate me for this.
All right, go ahead.
The Raiders plus 6.5 on the road against the Buccaneers. I think they have a little bit of spice in their running back room now with Sincere McCormick. I think he's a solid back, and I think if they incorporate him more, their running game could look a little more fleshed out this game. Aiden O'Connell's looked more solid than Gardner Minshew has, and he's starting. He played a solid game against the Chiefs and everything like that. And I don't know. I think it's just going to be a close game where the Raiders play them tight, and it's going to be a kick 'em to win them, and the Buccaneers eke it out. But yeah, I go Raiders plus 6.5.
All right, so that's your wrap up for your picks. Not too bad. Now I want to get over to some NBA talk and some NBA news with the last little bit we got. The Magic lose Wagner to a torn oblique. I think the 76ers won their last game.
Yeah, they did. But again, the Sixers are a bottom feeder. Well, bottom feeders. They beat the Magic last night. Only scored 102 points, which is typically low. But yeah, as the Magic have been over-exceeding expectations even without injury, and they're undefeated at home. They've just had a little bit of road struggles and everything, getting the offense going. So losing Franz is huge, and then, having Paolo back is what they really need. So, but the Sixers are standing pat, third worst team in the East, and they haven't done anything special to kind of turn that around.
So Golden State moves Green to the bench to start Jonathan Cummings. Is that right?
Yeah, Kuminga, but...
Kuminga, my bad.
Guess what his nickname is?
What, Cumming? Or Cum?
The Cum Bucket.
The Cum Bucket. Yeah, man.
Big cummer.
How do you think that affects the team dynamic moving forward?
They had to make an adjustment. They've been on a little skid lately. The Warriors have started the season as a top seed, now kind of tapering down to that middle range. But yeah, I mean, you need something to kickstart the offense a little bit more, because the defense isn't really the problem. It's just more of that higher level offense. Try to see more scoring out of them, and Draymond Green's good for any role. I feel like he fills in pretty nicely with that team. So we'll see how it shifts.
Nice. LeBron James goes old school to lead the Lakers past the Jazz. Fill us in about that.
That was a couple nights back.
Yeah, it was a
we've
couple
lost
nights.
3 straight.
I mean, we are kind of wrapping up for the week, remember?
No, for sure.
Yeah, all right.
No, Lakers haven't looked impressive at all recently, especially on defense. We've looked awful on defense. So getting that cleaned up first and foremost. And then Lakers can't rely on LeBron anymore to be Superman. You have to find other pieces. You have to create a culmination of a team rather than have it be Superman and Batman and AD doing all of it. So yeah.
All right, and I have a question to ask. As far as the games go coming up, who do you see? Who's your sleeper pick for for sure to win? Well, to win in any of these games coming up today, tomorrow. I mean, I know the Cavaliers just beat the Hornets today, so
Yeah, and that was expected. The Cavs are still on fire. They're 21-3 up until this point. So they've been playing awesome ball. They've won 4 straight after a little bit of a rough patch for their standards this year. But Wizards haven't won a game since we last talked, and they were on 14 straight. Now they are on 16 straight losses.
So you don't think they beat the Nuggets?
No, I think they get smacked.
Washington fan here, poor thing. I mean, I haven't really been watching it, but come on.
I think a lot of these are going to be not as decisive. I think the Thunder beat the Pelicans comfortably. I think the Knicks beat the Pistons comfortably. I think the Mavericks continue to roll and they beat the Raptors comfortably.
Suns and Heat. What about that?
The Suns and the Heat was the game I was looking at where I thought, oh, the Suns can make some noise and everything, but I do realize that Kevin Durant's out and Yusuf Nurkic is also banged up, and those are 2 of the Suns' best players, and Heat are at home. So
you're taking Heat,
honestly,
or is it going to be close?
I'm taking every favorite team on the docket today. There is no underdog I see ramping up and running it. So
let's take 76ers versus the Bulls, man.
Gross.
That'd be an ugly game in NBA standards, or what?
Yeah. I've almost played as many games as the Sixers' best player, so
dang,
we have that as well. Yeah, Joel Embiid, just no knees. No knees.
He ain't got no legs.
My leg.
All right, so anything else on the docket for this week that you see up in the NBA, or you're kind of just like, I mean, I know we went over some news and over some game finals and things like that, but anything that stands out to you to let our viewers know like what's going on, and do you have any spreads or any takes or any FanDuel picks for that as well?
No, just again, keep your eye on that Boston OKC finals. I'm telling you here first, mind reader. I know it will happen.
We have the script.
When it happens, bet on the Thunder in 7. So that's all I got. Watch out for the Thunder. Watch out for the Celtics. Watch out for the Rockets. They might just blast off. No Diddy. So.
So we're also we're coming up on our hour mark here. You know, it's been a good stream. Good to have you here. Glad that you can actually make it and everything. I appreciate it. Hopefully next week circumstances will be a little bit more favorable, but I'm glad we had you. And thanks for giving our viewers and NBA fans and NFL fans something to look at and something to graze on before Sunday's football matchup and the games tonight for the NBA. So.
Likewise, and my pretty face will be here next Saturday, cheesing in the camera, looking at you, Alex, figuring out what to do next. Hey, yo.
All right, man.
Well, again, great stream. Shout out JDB. Shout out the gang.
All right.
Keep rocking.
Yes, sir. All right, you guys have a good one. It's been JDB Sports. We'll see you guys next Saturday.